Welcome back, COK lovers. It's your boy DaYDreaMz, and today we're pushing one of our friends to level 30. And since the theme of today is the Alliance, and we're pushing another LOK member to level 30, we're going to go ahead and do a video on the Hive and setting up the Hive and how you ideally want to have a Hive. Okay, now a lot of people set their hives up where everyone is close together, and I can understand that where you want to protect each other, but with us, you'll notice that we're all pretty far apart, and you'll notice these turrets placed. And the reason that we go and we are in different territories and we're spread out from each other is because ideally we want to have it where anybody can teleport at any time and not leave a gap in the hive. So that's the main purpose of turrets for us, and that is to hold people's spaces until they come back. So you're not going to have a bunch of gaps, and then if you do this correctly, then the enemy is going to be marching 30 kilometers to get to your castles. And that's if you do it correctly. If you want to go next level on the outside of the hive, you can place a bunch of brown castles. You can get the free teleports with the Alliance teleport and set up a bunch of fake farm alliances and just put turrets. But see, we had to abandon this side of the hive and start over. So in the center of our hive, ideally you're going to have your four farm alliances. Now, I know that looks beautiful and you love the way that looks. Now, ideally, that would be the epicenter of our alliance, and then we would have our four towers surrounding it. But we had a problem over here on the left with a ghost tower. It says there's still a tower here, but there's not, and it's using up our tower. So that totally screwed up our entire hive. And um, the worst thing that can happen in this setup is this right here, and this is a gap, or this right here. This is a gap where someone's farm burnt out, and now CUA's there. So now we got to wait for him to teleport, and we got to fill it again. And this is an ongoing battle, and this is part of the stress of having a super hive like this, where you have this many members in one hive. But as you can see, for the most part, it's pretty much gapless. There's not really any gaps, and a lot of our members, especially the R4, have spent a lot of money covering these gaps just for people who don't pay attention to leave them, to let their farms teleport. And I know it happens once in a while, but here's what we try not to do is camp. We're camping a chill spot temporarily until he gets back from emptying that farm so he can go 30. But camps can be killed, and it only takes a few. They can march 3 marches right there, kill all 3 camps, recall all at the same time, then have someone poured in, and then you got a gap in your hive to deal with. But that's how we set up our hive. We spread out so that way everyone can turret. Now, we're a powerhouse in our kingdom, so we don't have to worry so much about, you know, getting zeroed. But we do have a little bit of trouble. So you want to spread your big castles out so that way you don't have all your 30s right next to each other. Spread out your 30s and 26s and ups and all your big castles. Spread them out so that way, just like with the Dark Knight event, you can protect each other. So that's basically what you want to do. You want to spread out all your big castles. You want to use turrets when you leave. When you leave, you want to use turrets. So that way you're not leaving gaps. And we're just restructuring this side of the hive. So this will all get filled in again. We're just doing a restructuring. We pulled everyone out. Daywalker is going to teleport onto the north side of the hive. We're going to fill all that in. I don't want to give away too much of what we're doing, but there's spies everywhere anyway. People who love the way that Chinese dick tastes. So we don't really have to be too secretive because we have our own members who are traders and give away information anyway. So I don't mind sharing that. We are going to fill back in this side of the hive, but if you want to, copy this system in your own kingdom, you just make 4 towers and make it to where the 4 corners meet in a perfect, square like that. And that makes it nice. You have turrets in every farm alliance. And then use put your 4 or 5 towers surrounding these, so that way it's in a perfect circle. So then you're surrounding these farms, and then try to put all your farms in the middle, and then have all your big castles on the outside, especially your 30s. Have them on the outside because they're probably going to be teleporting a lot, or your big castles. If you're in a newer kingdom, I know you might not have any 30s yet, but yeah, that couple of you asked about how to set up a hive, and this is how we chose to set up ours, and it's worked pretty good for us. See, people can teleport freely without leaving gaps. And if we weren't using this system and we were just leaving these turrets up, which kill what, 20 troops a march, that's nothing. So we can rebuild them in 5 minutes anyway. But we're constantly deleting these turrets and uh, teleporting, and then that way, if it wasn't for these turrets, CUA could teleport right next to your farms. See, this is another person's spot here. And if it wasn't for that turret, all these farms would be demolished and cleaned out in seconds. But instead, now they have to march. Look how far he has to march. He has to march 2 or 3 minutes rather than 2 or 3 seconds. So I hope this video helps you guys when you're setting up your own hive. And if you want to restructure your hive, I highly recommend this here. It looks really cool. Gives you a lot of respect in the kingdom. And it's actually very functionable too. And then the depot, you can use that to take up space as well. And then on the outside, once you're done, filling in your hive, you can start setting up these fake farm alliances like this and putting up depots and turrets there too, just to take up more space. And you can also use these lakes and mountains as boundaries, so that way it can take up more space. We need to tweet at Clash of Kings at Elix that these lakes, I'd like them to serve a second purpose. I think you could add fish in here and make it for food. You can collect food in these lakes. I think that'd be cool, just to serve a dual purpose. Then you could also put iron mines in mithril mines uh, in the mountains, so that way it's serving two purposes. And I just noticed a little bit of that ain't really a gap, but I don't like this little valley. See how you could just teleport right in there. And I like to keep all this stuff. So I got a little work to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. You guys know the drill. And share the videos with everybody you know. I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.